I have been
white and blue.
shamed for not being patriotic enough. I do agree, American flags are everywhere. I have a few pairs of underwear myself.
Really?
Yeah. Now, 3B, Americans are obese. Yes. Moving on. Or draw a picture of the US and they're like,
a circle.
I think that's right. All right, let's move on. Move on. You're embarrassing me.
Oh, you're embarrassing me in front of all the other countries.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pagoda One. This is
George from the UK.
Joanne from Canada.
and John from America. And today, as an American, I am being grilled like the 4th of July.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I just made that up on the spot. Basically, they put together 6 different sort of stereotypes about America, which may or may not be completely, absolutely true, but also offensive.
Both. Or both.
Or both. Who knows?
Or both. They haven't shown these to me yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I can probably guess a couple.
You can guess.
What kind of things have you heard about Americans?
All right, I'll do
What kind
top
of
3.
stereotypes?
Loud, overly patriotic, and ignorant.
Okay.
And how many of those apply to you?
Loud.
Well,
Basically, I'll be reacting to these in a very negative and powerful way, which is usually my reactions. And then we'll talk about a little bit more later.
Alright. I can start.
Yeah, number 1.
I can start us off.
Number
So our very first one, which you so graciously already mentioned, is Americans are loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
If I were to rate this as a percentage, I give it a good 50%. So I think when people look at Americans, they might see loud ones much easier than seeing the quiet ones. Because also the quiet ones could be European, they could be French, they could be from anywhere in the world because they're not talking.
Yeah. I will say, like, obviously not every American is loud and obnoxious, but if you're in the street, you're traveling anywhere, if it's an American, you will hear them. Yes.
Yeah.
I think something about America, people are trained to like project their voices a lot more, and it cuts through. I can always hear an American accent like miles away.
Yeah, it does cut through the accent. Loud and obnoxious, yeah, I'd give it a good 50%. I've heard that one before. Give me something good.
The next one, what you mentioned, the American flag. Second one, Americans are overly patriotic.
Yes.
Now,
I don't see it represented here, John.
yeah,
You should have like an
where's
American
the
flag.
colours?
I have been
White and blue.
shamed for not being patriotic enough.
Oh no, by whom?
Sometimes Americans, sometimes not Americans. Like, don't you love America? I'm like, well, I mean, it's a country I came from.
It's a country.
Yeah, like everything has pros and cons, and I love America in some ways, and I think it can get better in some ways. Overly patriotic, because when I think of patriotism, I think of like loving the country and really wanting to project that country into the world, which I think a lot of Americans do, but not enough to be a fact about America. I think a lot of them love the American paraphernalia. A lot of them love doing 4th of July stuff.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to the wire of like, should you defend America? A lot of them would say what I do, which is, oh, there's pros and cons.
I think this one comes from the like perception, the flag. Like this obsession, not everyone's obsessed with the kind of national obsession with the flag, and like the loving America thing. Because like other countries don't really say like we love our country, like, and like you pledge allegiance to the flag now at school.
Yeah.
From school, like during your house.
No, we look like
Actually, no. Now I'm curious. Like, did you have like the flag floating in the car?
I do agree. American flags are everywhere.
Okay.
I have a few pairs of underwear myself.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, here we have our second. Well, actually, no, third.
Yeah, that's right.
I was going to say like second for myself, but yes, this is the third.
Because you only think about yourself.
Yeah, wow. I'm here.
Our third stereotype that we have here for today is Americans eat fast food and are obese.
Now this is 2 things. This is eat fast food.
And are obese. I will treat them as a 3 and a 3A and a 3B.
3A, 3B,
Yeah.
that's acceptable.
3A is, I think, definitely a stereotype. Most Americans are going to be cooking at home or eating things like that. It's just too expensive to be doing fast food every day. Now, that being said, there's a huge gap between those who have and those who have not in America. And the have-nots are going to be ordering frozen foods, which you could kind of consider as a junk food or fast food type thing, a lot more than people who are more affluent. So that's definitely part of it. Now, 3B, Americans are obese. Yes. Moving on. Obesity in America is not the top in the world, but it is up there.
Actually, I did want to mention that also in America, America has supersize, which is not something...
No. America's medium is called large in most countries. The large is supersize, and then the supersize is like...
Supersize is like, what is this?
Yeah, standard American size.
Why do I need a bucket of Coca-Cola?
Even the regular size is like too much for me. I can't.
Right, yeah. Or like the Starbucks. The Starbucks, they have like a Trenta. Why?
All right, let's move on. Move on. You're embarrassing me.
Oh, you're embarrassing me in front of all the other countries.
Well, my second one. Okay, this one's interesting. Maybe the wording will throw us off a little bit. Americans are obsessed with work.
Oh,
work culture. Yes.
This is something like, I guess I took for granted being in the US. I just thought that America's work culture was normal. And I came to Korea, and Koreans were working a lot too. So again, I thought, oh, this is just the world, right? With Korea, they work at the office a lot. But in America, they work at home. So they will have that strict 5 or 6 whatever p.m. They'll get back. Sometimes they'll work overtime, but they have to get paid a lot more. So they'll go home and then they'll work even more. Unpaid on their own willpower. It's not even like a cultural thing to force them to work by the managers. It's just a part of the culture to work. You are the one that makes your own fate. It's all about that. And so you are the only one putting pressure on yourself typically to work so much harder at your house without pay. So that is absolutely, I don't know about obsession.
Yeah, obsessed, I don't know about.
But it's just the culture.
My third one, also known as the fifth one, is every American owns a gun.
This is untrue because the statistic is there are enough guns in America for everyone to have one.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean everyone has a gun.
Some
people have many guns. So the statistic is insane. It is around 30% of Americans do own guns.
They just have like a collection.
But they have a collection of them. They have a lot.
Oh, wow.
Or unsold. There's unsold.
Oh, yeah.
America could arm itself like 2 or 3 times over, but not every American owns a gun. That's true.
Okay.
And there's many Americans who have never shot a gun too, but that's a stereotype.
But
America has
that demographic
of not owning a gun, but I have shot a gun. I've shot so many guns, and it's so fun. Under the correct, safe circumstances, firing guns is incredibly fun.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, the final one we have is
this is so good.
Because this one irritates me to no end. Americans think they are the center of the world.
Discuss. Have you looked at maps?
I don't look at maps made in America.
Oh.
American.
Actually, I think they're on the left.
Yeah,
but anyways,
Sure.
Center of the world, I wouldn't go as far as center. Most important in the world. We know we're not center.
That's what this means.
It does not mean that.
Not the middle of it. It doesn't mean the middle of the earth.
Well, not the middle, but I think when people think the center of the earth, or not, not
center of the earth.
Not that.
That's the wrong.
It means the most important.
The
focus.
I
the
feel
main
like
character. Main character.
Main character.
Yes.
That's fine. Main character is fine. This comes into the ignorant part too. Like, I think Americans think America has a lot of great things, but it's all about potential greatness. So Americans don't think, oh, America is great, but Americans think America has the most potential to be the greatest.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Also, when it comes to ignorance of geography, lack of geographical knowledge. Lack of geographical knowledge is extreme. So that's what this means, I think, is like not knowing where other countries are, not caring, not traveling. I mean, I know it's difficult, it's expensive, and difficult to travel outside of the US for many people. Like, even before I traveled anywhere, I knew where stuff was.
The amount of Instagram reels I've come across where they're interviewing
But it's not even
Americans.
the world. It's America too. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, where's North Carolina? And they're like, it's over here, right? Or draw a picture of the U.S. and they're like,
A circle.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The other question that we had,
Yeah.
what stereotype do I hate the most?
Yes.
It's actually outside of one of these because I've seen some of these before, and after seeing the rest, I was like, these can be not true or true, but they're not hateful things. It's just like, oh yeah, that's not really true, whatever. But one thing I think that gets me the most is the stereotype that Americans are rich.
Ooh, that's
Like,
rough.
oh, America's rich, and I'm like, well, maybe America as a country can look rich, but if you go to the Americans side, the people side, there is so much poverty. Not just for people, for cities, for states, where you will look at it and be like, that looks like a third world country. The roads are breaking down. There's no medical system. There's no infrastructure. Power outages constantly. You have to realize Americans are actually pretty poor in a lot of places.
What would you like all of our viewers to know about America?
What's happening in the microphone?
What I would want people to know about America is this. We are curious, okay? But that curiosity often can come across as rudeness because of the ignorance we have. When we're traveling to different countries, we want to know more because we've never heard about it. We've never seen it. It's so new to us and we just want to know. So sometimes we ask questions that seem rude, but just take it with a grain of salt. Just know that the curiosity is overpowering our sense of couthness. Tact.
That's fair.
Go ahead and put this here. There we go. Take us home.
It's your thing. You started
Take me
it.
home.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Hopefully you learned about America and you broke some stereotypes, even though I think I agreed with most of them. All right, everybody, make sure to like,
Comment.
and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye. Wait, we forgot to share.
Share.
Share.